Now, let's start to use the function. The first function that we want to use to calculate the total. The function of calculation total is called sum. And every time when we want to use the function, it should be inside a formula. It means I should start with what? Which sign?
Equal.
Equal. So I will start with equal and write the function, which is sum. You should memorize the function name and the spelling of the function inside the Excel, how the Excel can understand this function. Then you will open a bracket. We want to add the hours of working. Let's read what we have to calculate. We have to calculate the total number of hours worked by all of these 5 people. Okay, so we want to add the cells from B4 until B8, right? So I have to go back to my function. I will write the first cell, which is B4. Then I will use the colon. Columns mean 2 dots on top of each others. Then until I reach B8. Then I will close this bracket. After that, simply you can click enter. Don't click enter before you close the bracket. It's a common mistakes of students when they are working with functions, and in some function the file may be corrupted. So take care. When you open a bracket in a function, close it, then click enter. So we have, this is the answer. This is the total. We have another 2 ways in calculating the total, in doing the sum function. I will do them here. I will do one of them in E9 and another one in the others. I can start with equal sign, then do sum, then open a bracket, then simply I can go and click on the first place that I want to include inside this function and drag until we reach the last one. Then we will close the bracket and press enter. Another method, we can use the AutoSum, the quick access command, which is AutoSum. You can find it in Home tab, Editing Group. This is the command. So I will drag the mouse between all of the cells that we want to sum and simply click on AutoSum. You see, the answer is here. And once you see this answer and you click on it, you will find the function is written by itself here. Even you didn't write it, you just use this command, okay? Let's see the other function, which is the average. Who can explain for me the meaning of average in math? Add, then divide. Excellent. We can add different values, then divide these values on their number. So if we have like 5 values, we can add these 5 values and divide them by 5. Okay, so but we want to deal with it now in Excel. So let's see how to write it in Excel. We can start with equal, then we will write the word average. You will see some suggestions. It means they are reserved word in Excel, okay? Then simply I will open a bracket. We want to do the average for all of these values. So we have to start with B4, then we will use the colon and we have to stop on B8. Then we will close and click enter. You see, this is the average. Now, if we want to use the average in a different formatting. We want to write, is this the only way that we can write average on it? No, we have different ways to write the average. I will show you them, and you will use the one that you will feel yourself familiar with it. You can do it easier, but you have also to understand them. You know why? Because sometimes they will ask you in IG theory exam about the meaning of some functions. So you have to understand the meaning of these functions, okay? I will show you them. We have different format of writing the function average. The first one, which is the common, you have to just write the word average, then open brackets and write the range, the start cell, then colon, then the last cell, okay? Or you can just open the bracket and write each cell. For example, you will start from B4 until B8, so you will write B4, comma, B5, comma, B6, comma, B7 until the last cell. This is another format, okay? And now we can also use this format. It will calculate the means of the cell in the range from the first cell until the last cell and one of the other cells, but it's not inside the range. Okay, so if I will show you how. I have the values from B4 until B8. We want to calculate the average of them plus these values, this value. This value is in E9. So we have to write the range first, then comma, then add the other value, which is in another range, okay, or on another place. This is also, this one is acceptable and you have to understand it. طيب, the last one, average, then we open a brackets and we write my range. What do you think about the meaning of my range? From where we will find my range? Remember the first thing that we have studied now. My range, it can be considered as a named cell. For example, I can name all of these cells from B4 until B8. I can name them, define name, and write my range. What's my range? Then I will click OK. So it can, all of these cells are called my range. So simply we can write average, open a bracket, my range. You see, it's not hard. طيب, let's see the other functions. Now we want to deal with maximum function. How to write the maximum function? Simply you will click equal max, open a bracket, you will choose the range from B4 until B8, or simply it will appear like a name, which is my range. You see, by mistake, this backslash is selected, so I have too many errors. Okay, Alhamdulillah, it's done. طيب, we want to do the minimum. We want to find the minimum. So I will click equal minimum, open the brackets and go select the area and close the brackets, then enter. So the minimum value appears here. Okay. طيب, I think all of these functions are simple. Now let's deal with other functions. I want to write integer, round, what else? And we can use okay. I just want to use integer and round, okay? Then later we will work on another task for the other functions. If I wrote this value, 16.8, is that decimal or integer or whole number? 16.8, is it a decimal number or a whole number? Who knows?
A decimal number.
It's a decimal number. Okay, Abdulhamid, you can write Habibi in chat. I can see. Thank you. So it is a decimal number. It means we have a number and we have a decimal point and we have 1 digit, 2 digits, 3 digits based on the number. Okay. If I want the Excel to convert this number to integer, integer means a whole number. So we will simply use the function of int. So we will write equal int. You will see it will appear by itself. Open the bracket. Where is our number? It's in B16, right? So I will write B16. Then I will close it. Enter. You see? Now it's an integer number, whole number. طيب, if I want to round this number, what the meaning of rounding? It means I have to round this number to the nearest value. Sometimes I need it to the nearest whole, and sometimes I need it to the nearest 1 decimal place or to the nearest 2 decimal place. We will try all of them now. But first of all, I want to round it to the nearest whole number. It means I want it integer. So I have to write the function as like this, round. Then I will write the place of the value, which is B16. Then you will simply print a comma and you have to tell the round function the number of the digits to the nearest what? Is it to the nearest whole? Is it to the nearest 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places? If I want it to the nearest whole, it means I will just write 0. Then close the bracket, then enter. What is it? It's 17, and it's logic because the 8 is rounded to 1 whole, so it's 17. طيب, if I want to do the function with different decimal places, to round it to different decimal places, sometimes to 1 decimal, 2 decimals, how to write them? They will be here inside your book. Is there any question? Do you have any question?
No.
Okay, I will continue. Where is the book? Let's see here. We have some formats of using the round function. For example, if we write the cell reference where I have the number and number 2, it will be rounded to the 2 decimal places. We will have just only 2 digits after the decimal point. If we wrote 1, we will have only 1. If we wrote 0 or -1, it will be the same. It means we are talking about a whole number, okay? But it will be, if we wrote 0, it will round the content to 0 decimal places, okay? But if we wrote -1, it means we want to round the value in the cell to the nearest 10. You understood the meaning of nearest 10. It means what if we round this value to the nearest 10, we have to stop on the number 6 and see this 3. If it's 5 or bigger, it can be rounded to 1 value. So because it is 3, the nearest 10 will be 60. طيب, if we wrote like negative 2, it means we will round to the nearest 100.